Welcome to the TLC Community Credit Union Online Banking and Mobile Banking webinar. During this webinar, we will cover the following topics: overview of the dashboard, messages and messaging TLC, accounts, account details, settings, transaction history, eStatements, account alerts, mortgage services, profile and security settings, overview of bill pay, which we do encourage you to join us on May 13th for an in-depth webinar about bill pay, transfers between shares, members, shared loans, member to member, external transfers, and how to schedule transfers. We'll show you how to send money with Zelle, Your Money Manager, remote deposits, card control, and support. If you have questions during the webinar, please press the Ask a Question button at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. If you're on a mobile device, you'll need to use the question mark icon, and you can click on that and then click Ask a Question to enter your questions. You'll then go ahead and click the arrow to submit your question. We'll answer all of the questions at the end of the webinar during our Q&A section. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Leslie from our eBranch, and she will begin our presentation on online banking.
Hi, I'm Leslie from the eBranch. I have been with TLC for about a year, and kind of one of my favorite things that we do here in the eBranch is teach our members how to use our e-services to kind of help them better their lives, make banking easier, and kind of just make everything functional. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we're going to go over everything having to do with the web page. And then after I'm done, Rachel's going to go over everything having to do with the app. All right, so you can see that I've already logged into our homepage here. So it's tlccu.org. You log in using your username and your password, and this is the first screen that you're going to see. So this is called your dashboard. So on your dashboard, it lays out a bunch of different options here. One of the great things about our website and the app is that you can get to the same place in multiple ways. So you just kind of find your favorite method and go from there. So at the top of our dashboard here, you can see we have all of our accounts listed out that are on this particular account. So all of our different shares. We have our basic checking share, our regular share, which is our savings. And then below that, we have some quick buttons. So we have a transfer button, a pay a bill button, our message button, send money with Zelle, and member transfer. And if you notice, all of those same buttons are over here on the sidebar. Underneath the quick buttons are transactions. So these are going to be transactions from all of the shares that are on this particular account. So in order to see which account that came from, you're going to want to look under the transaction, and it will specify basic checking or regular share. So again, this is going to compile all transactions that have happened on this account between all of the shares that are on it. To the right of that, we do have the transfer card. So on the transfer card, you can quickly make a transfer or transfer to a member. And you can also view any scheduled transfers that are going to be happening in the future. You can also see the support box down here. So on the support box, it's going to give you our phone number with the ability to call. It'll show you how to send a message to us here in the eBranch. And then it will show you some information about TLC. So the great thing about our dashboard is it is customizable to how you want it to look. So in order to customize that, you're just going to hit Organize Dashboard. On here, it'll show you the layout of how things look on the dashboard. So the only thing that you're not able to change is the accounts. The accounts are always going to be at the top, and they're always going to be displayed. Anything else that has these 6 dots or the X can be moved or deleted. If I want to add a new card, I'm just going to hit Add a Card. And say that I want to add payments. So just click on it. Then I can click the back arrow. And then this is how it's going to be laid out on my dashboard. Well, I want to change that. So in order to reorder them, I'm just going to hover over the 6 dots until I get 4 arrows. Then I'm going to use my mouse and click with the left button, click and hold, and then I can just move wherever I want it to move. So I want payments at the top. Once I'm done reordering all of that, I'm going to hit Done. That'll take me back to my dashboard, and you can see that things have moved around a little bit. So we have our payment button up here now, and then that's moved to be on top of our support box. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to organize these accounts. So you can change the order that they go in, and you can also change how you can view them. So if you hit these 3 dots above the right-hand side account, you can click Organize Accounts. This will allow you to drag and reorder the order that they're shown in. This is really helpful if you have multiple shares on one particular account. A lot of people have multiple for budgeting purposes. So you can just hover over those 6 dots again until you see your arrows. Use your left button on your mouse, click, hold, and drag. And you can see that I kind of flip-flopped them. I'm going to hit done, and you'll see that they're now shown in that reverse order of what they were. The other thing you can do when you hit these 3 dots is you can change your view. So right now it's on compact view, which means that it's just showing my share name and the available balance. If you hit expanded, it's going to show you more. So if I had more shares on here, it's going to show up to 6. And if you hit totals, it's going to combine them all to show you what your total balance with TLC is in all of your accounts. I'm going to go ahead and take that back to compact. The next thing I'm going to show you is our messaging feature. So you're able to send secured messages to us here in the eBranch 24 hours a day. We will get back to you as quickly as we can. It usually takes us about 4 to 8 hours during business hours to kind of touch base with everybody. We tend to be a little bit quicker, but it really depends on how many messages we've received overnight, especially on a Monday, because we're catching up from Saturday, Sunday, and then, Monday messages. Janet in our eBranch, she is fluent in Spanish. So if your preferred language is Spanish, or you know of anybody who only speaks Spanish, please have them chat in, and Janet can go ahead and answer that for you. To start a new conversation, you're just going to hit that button, and it's going to allow you to type your message down here at the bottom. So you can type anything you'd like to type. So say that I want to know how to make a principal-only payment. Just type that out and hit the button that says send. And that's going to send that right to us at the eBranch. We do get email notification, so we know that a new message has come in. In your chat box here, you're also able to click the blue button with a plus sign, and you can attach a file, attach a transaction, attach account, or attach a payment. Say that you're experiencing an error, or you're not able to see where we're asking you to look for something. If you're looking for a certain button, we may ask you to take a screenshot. That's going to be really helpful for us to help troubleshoot anything that might be happening, or even just see what you're seeing on your screen so we can help walk through it. So once you take that screenshot and you save it to your computer, you're going to use the File button to upload that to us. So you click File, navigate to it on your computer, and then click it and click Open. You'll see that it attaches it down here, and then you can hit Send, and it will actually send that image right to us so we can see kind of what's going on. Any chats that you've started are going to show on the left-hand side here unless you hit the delete button, and that's when they're deleted. And any notifications that you choose to have sent to the website, whether it be a transaction notification, a balance notification, anything like that will also show on that left-hand side under messages. And I'll kind of touch base on those different alerts in a little bit. The next button I want to talk to you about is our account button. So this is going to show you all of the different shares that you have on this account. You can also organize them in here just like I did on the dashboard. Say that you want these to go in a different order, hit Organize Account, and it'll show you that exact same screen that we've already went over. So again, you'll just hover over the 6 dots until you get those 4 pointed arrows. Use your left button on your mouse to click and hold and just drag it in a different order and hit Done. That'll reorder those for you. I'm going to go ahead and go into our checking account here and kind of talk about a few things in here. So on the left-hand side, once you're into your checking or your savings, it's going to look very similar. You're going to have your transaction list. So this is going to show you any transactions that have happened within this particular share. You can see any deposits will come in and be green, and any charges that you've paid out will be black. The gray number below all of those is your running balance. So this is going to be your balance when this charge has already been deducted. So you can see on the 27th, we had a $100 balance. We spent $25.27 and that left us with a balance of $74.73. So you can always check to see where you're at after that particular charge. Any pending charges, whether it be a pending debit, a pending credit, anything like that's going to be at the very top of your list and have the word pending under it. So you can see that that hasn't officially posted. If you click on that charge, it's going to show you the date that it will post. So you can see that this Panera Bread charge is going to be pending until tomorrow. And then that's when it will officially post to our account and go into our running balance. Over on the right-hand side under details, you can see your full routing and account number. And then you can see your full account information. You can see the day that you opened this particular share. But I want to touch base on what the difference between the balance and the available balance is. So the balance is going to be the number, the amount that's in your account after all of the transactions that have posted are calculated. So you can see that right now we have a balance of $72.38. Once we take into account that pending Panera transaction, that leaves us with an available balance of $39.34. This is the amount of funds that we are able to currently spend right now without receiving an overdraft fee. So we don't have $72 to spend, we only have $39. Above all of this, we have some more quick buttons. So again, there's transfer. So that's 3 places that we're now able to access that. So just find your favorite route and then you can go from there. Here's documents. This is where you're going to view your eStatements as long as you're enrolled. If you're not enrolled, once you click on this, it will walk you through the enrollment process. Since I'm already enrolled, I'm just going to click on it and show you what it looks like. It will load a new web page for us, and it's going to show us that our April 2021 statement is available to view. Credit card statements will be here as long as you're enrolled in that. For that enrollment process, you're actually going to use a button under helpful links called Visa Statement Preferences. You click on that, and it will allow you to enroll either electronically or change it back to paper statements, and then hit Save. Under tax statements, this is going to be any interest statements that you've earned, your mortgage statements, anything like that that you may be looking for when you go to do your taxes. Keep in mind that if nothing is here, that means you did not earn more than $10 in interest on your shares over the course of that year. So one has not been generated. I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button on my browser up at the top left. That's going to take me back to my home page. Might have to do a couple clicks depending on how far in I am. And then talk to you about Your Money Manager. So Your Money Manager is a budgeting tool that we use, that we've partnered with, that will help you monitor and track your spending. So on here, you can actually tag different transactions. So we had talked about a Panera transaction that we just purchased tonight. So we can tag that as food. If I go shopping at Maurice's, I can tag that as clothes. So on here, once you tag those, it's going to give you a breakdown of how you've spent your money over the last, however long. So right now, this is showing me 1 month. It's showing me that I've spent $82 in transportation, $57 in savings, and so on. So this is great because it's going to help you budget things. It's going to help you figure out where your funds are going, where you need to adjust, and things like that. So I'm going to go back into my checking account. Our next button is Check Reorder. So don't let that fool you. If you've never ordered checks before, that's okay. Still use that button, and you'll see here what that message will say if you've never ordered. So this takes you to Harlan's Clark, and this is who we use to order checks through. And you'll see that I get a warning here. So my bold says, we're unable to locate a previous order. And then it says, click continue to initiate an order. So this is just telling me that checks have never been ordered for this particular account before. And then I can just hit continue. It's going to have me walk through my physical information. So my first name, last name, address. And then it's going to have me enter my date of birth, my last four of my social, just to verify my identity. Once I hit submit, it's going to then take me to the page where I'm able to select what I want my checks to look like. And then I can walk through and place my order. I'm going to hit the back button to get back to my accounts. And then we'll go on. Our next button here is Stop Payments. So this will allow you to place a stop without having to contact the credit union. This is great if it's after hours and you've noticed that a check is missing, you've lost your checkbook, things like that. You can either stop a single check or you could stop a range of checks. So a range of checks, again, would be that lost checkbook, you know, that you've lost it and you're missing check, you know, 101 to check 151, and you just need to stop those. Here is where you can choose to do a stop on a single check. So this would be if one got lost in the mail or one got destroyed. You can place a stop on that until you know what's going on with it. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through the steps on placing a stop payment on a single check. Say, for instance, I sent a birthday check to my nephew, Teddy Bear. I sent it in the mail. I wrote it back in March. I know that I got it in the mail. So I've given it plenty of time to get to him, and he hasn't received it. We have no idea where it is. So I'm going to enter the check number first. So it's check number 1245. And the check was for $25. The check date is the date that I wrote it on. So I'm just going to use my mouse and I'm going to scroll up to March 1st, since I know that's when I wrote it. And then I'm going to put his name since he's the payee. I wrote it to him. And then I'm going to select the reason that I want to do this stop. The check was lost. We have no idea where it is. And then once I hit submit, it's going to notify the credit union. It will place that warning code on your accounts with us, and it will charge you the stop payment fee. Now, there is a fee of $25 for a stop payment that automatically gets charged. So it's nothing that you have to worry about coming in to pay or worry about making a transfer. That will just automatically come out of your account for you. I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button here, and we're going to go back to our account. The next thing I want to show you is our alert preferences. So these are preferences that are just going to take effect for our checking account. If you want to set them for a savings account, you have to navigate over to that. And if you want them on a debit card, we'll show you when we do the mobile side how you can use TLC's card control to control those alerts. So click on alert preferences. And then it shows that we can do balances, transactions, and deposit alerts. So I'm going to click right there. The first side you see is balances. So this is where you're going to set an alert anytime a balance goes above or falls below a certain amount that you want to know about. You can see that we currently have one set that anytime the balance falls below $20, we want to be notified by an in-app message. So when it says in-app, what it means is that it's just going to alert us on our website. It's not going to send us a text or an email. And when we get that alert, it's going to be found in our messages tab. On the transaction side of things, we can be alerted anytime there's a credit or a debit that goes above or below the number that we want to know about, just like the balance. So right now we have it set for when a debit is over $100, we want to be notified by email. I'm going to show you how to add a new alert, and then I'll show you how to delete one that I no longer want. So if I click add alert, I'm going to do a transactional alert. And I want to be notified when, and then you can hit this arrow and it'll drop down a box. I do want to be notified when there's a credit of over $300. I usually get paid every week, and I like to know when my paycheck goes in. So I want to be alerted anytime there's a credit over $300 put into my account. And I want to be notified by text message. So I'm going to click that, but I do not want to be notified by an in-app message. So I'm going to check that off. And then I'm just going to hit add alert, and it's going to add it to my list. If I go back to balance, I don't need to know when my balance is below 20. I actually want to know when it's below 100 because that makes me feel safer. So I'm going to hit edit, and I can just choose to change this amount to 100. I hit save, and you can see that it has changed that for me. If I want to get rid of this alert altogether, I would do the same thing. I would hit edit, and then I would use the trash can right here next to the cancel button. Once I hit trash, it's gone. So I'm no longer going to be alerted about that. I'm going to hit my back arrow here again, and then hit ask about this account. So ask about this account is going to allow you to send a message where you can either add to a conversation, start a new conversation, or give us a call. So I want to start a new conversation about this. And you can see that it's attached my account here. So whatever eBranch representative pulls this message will know exactly what account you're talking about. And you can just say something like, when will my statement post? You can hit send. That will send it right to the eBranch, and then they can answer you right there. If I go back into account, back into checking, I want to show you the settings. So under settings, this is going to show you ways that you can change your display options. It'll also show you any alerts that you've added, and it will show you if you're already enrolled for your eStatements. And you can see down here that this account is already enrolled, and we've already kind of looked over that. Up here at the top, you can actually rename your account. So if I click rename, I've got 16 characters that I can change this name for. Right here, the display options. So by toggling this off, it's going to take it out of my dashboard and it's going to take it off of my account list. Let me show you. So I've turned it off, it's gray. When I go to dashboard, it's no longer there. When I go to account, it's no longer there. So how I get that back is I'm going to go down to the bottom left-hand corner, click, and go to settings. Once you're in settings, you're going to see accounts and you're going to click on TLC Community CU. There's our checking. Click it. That's that same screen we were just on. Let's turn these green again. And when I go back to account, it's back. You have all of the same options in regular share, which is a savings, except we can't place a stop payment or we can't order checks. Those are the only differences. While you're in accounts, I also want to show you that over here on the right-hand side, you can see your totals. So this is the total cash that you have between however many accounts. So you can see we have $72.11 in the 2 accounts that we have on here. Below that, you can open a new share, and it's going to allow you to either open a savings share or a CD share. When you open a savings, the default name is going to be vacation savings. So you can always use that rename button at the very top when you're in the account to rename that whatever you would like, whether it be, trip to Hawaii or, bills or whatever you would like to customize that name to be. When you open a CD, it's going to allow you to walk through that process. You are not able to select a beneficiary when you open a CD. We do pull a report daily, and we will be giving anybody who's opened a CD a call to see if they would like to add a beneficiary. So we're already taking care of that for you. I'm going to go ahead and hit back. The next button below Open a Share is Consumer Loan App. So when you click on that, it allows you to start an application for any type of consumer loan we have. You just choose what you would like, walk through that loan app process, and that sends an email to us here at the eBranch. We usually pull those in the morning. So if you get it overnight, we'll get to you in the morning. We'll work it up sometime during that day and let you know. I'm going to hit my back button on my browser. And then the next button here is Add an External Transfer Account. Now what that means is that you're able to link another financial institution that you're an account owner of right here to your TLC accounts. This will allow you to transfer to or from that external account right here in our application on your mobile phone or on the website. And I'll kind of go over that a little bit more when I get to the transfer button. Our next button on our sidebar is our payments button. This is our bill pay. I'm not going to do much about bill pay today because we are having another webinar next week on Thursday at 6 o'clock where Mike and Janet are going to be going over bill pay on the website and on the mobile phone, just like Rachel and I are doing today. But basically, this is a brief overview. It'll show you any payee history you have. This is how you add a brand new payee. This is what you'll click to pay a bill. And this manage payments over here, when you're on a computer, manage payments is where you're going to want to live when you're doing bill pay. This is the full side of bill pay, and it allows you to have so much more control. Like I said, Mike will go over all of this, and then Janet's going to do the phone side of it next week. Our next button is transfers. So when you get to transfers, it's automatically going to take you to the scheduled portion. So you see that we don't currently have anything scheduled. To schedule something, I'm going to go ahead and hit make a transfer over here on the right. I can change which account that's coming from. So right now it's set up to go from my savings to my checking. But I want to flip-flop that. I want to move money from my checking to my savings every week when I get paid, just to kind of build my savings. So all I need to do is click on the regular share and it will open up my options. I can now choose my basic checking. And then I do the same thing. On my 2, I choose my savings. I want to move $10 every week to my regular share from my checking. So if I just hit submit right now, it's going to move immediately. It's just going to do one transfer, but I want to make it recurring. So I'm going to hit more options and I'm going to change the frequency, weekly. And then I'm going to change the start date because I don't get paid until tomorrow and I want it to happen every Friday. So I'm going to hit tomorrow's date and then I'm going to hit submit. You can see that that's been scheduled. If I want to do another transfer, I can hit make another transfer and it will take me right back to that page, or I can hit done and it will take me back to the transfer page. So now that's come under our scheduled. So you can see every Friday, starting tomorrow, from basic checking, I'm going to be moving $10 to my regular share. We'll say after thinking about it, I've changed my mind and I now want to make that $15. To edit that, I just click on it and I can just change my amount right here. I'm going to backspace, change that to 15, and I'm going to hit save. It says that I've updated it. When I hit done, it's there. If I want to delete it completely and I no longer want to make that transfer, because this is going to keep going until I tell it to stop. There's no end date. I can click on it, and then up here, I can hit the trash can and that will delete it. It says, are you sure? Delete. Says it's been deleted. I hit OK, and now it's gone. The transfer to a member button is the new wording for the member-to-member transfer that we've always had. This will allow you to transfer from your account here to any other TLC member or any other TLC account that you may have by using this. So the first thing you're going to do is select which account on here you'd like it to come from. Well, I want it to come from my checking. And then I have to put the first 3 letters of the last name or business name. So if it's a business, you're literally going to do the first 3 letters. So for instance, if McDonald's banks with us, then we're going to put MAC. If it's a trust, we're going to go by the trust name. We're going to put, so if it's the Teddy Bear Trust, we're going to put TED for teddy bear. The stop payment that I made on that check earlier for the $25 that didn't go to my nephew, he banks with us, so I'm just going to go ahead and send those funds to him using this route. That way we don't have to worry about mail time anymore. So what I'm going to do is his last name is Bear, so I'm going to put BEA. The member number is going to be the 7-digit member number that he has with us here at TLC. And then his share, I'm going to enter his savings share, which is 00. If you're ever unsure of what share to transfer the funds into, it's always a safe bet to put 00. Everybody here at TLC has a 00 share. That's what makes you a member. And then I'm just going to send him that $25. Once I hit submit, that's going to go. There's going to be no review. There's going to be no are you sure? It's going to transfer right to Teddy Bear's account. So make sure that this is correct before you hit submit. I'm going to go ahead and hit my back arrow here. And then I want to talk about external accounts. So I mentioned it a little bit, but I'll go more into detail here. So when you click on external accounts, it's going to tell you that none are found. What you can do is you can add an external account by using this button. And then it's going to prompt me for my password because I am making a change to my, my account here. So this is going to be any information for the other financial institution that you're an owner of. So for instance, if I wanted to link a Huntington account, I would put Huntington or whatever your, this is kind of just an account nickname for you. So whatever you're going to know this external account by. So I can put Leslie's Huntington account or whatever I want to make it. I enter my routing number from Huntington and I enter my full account number from Huntington. I can then select whether it's a checking or a savings. Once I fill that out completely, I can hit submit, and it will send 2 micro deposits to my Huntington account that I will then have to come back to my TLC account and verify. This ensures that, you know, I have access to the other account and that other account is mine. It's just another security feature. That those deposits usually take 1 to 3 business days. Once I've verified that through the TLC website, after I've received those deposits at Huntington, they will now show under external accounts here. The other place they're going to show is when I go to make a transfer and I click on my from or my to, they're going to show in my list here. So not only will I be able to send money from my TLC account to my Huntington account, I can actually request money from my Huntington account by using my TLC account. It's pretty cool. Transfers usually take, usually about 3 business days. I've seen them go quicker, but 3 is about the average that we're seeing. Our next button here is Send Money with Zelle. So Zelle is a person-to-person money transfer program. It's a company that we've partnered with. They send money instantly and they send money free. So what you do is you register using your phone number or your email address. That way you're not having to give out your account number to anyone, so it's a lot safer. The warnings that I am going to give you about Zelle is treat it like cash. Just keep in mind that once you've sent that money, it's gone. It's just like handing cash to someone. So we really warn you to only send funds to someone you know and make sure that you're double checking everything before you hit that send button. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the enrollment process. So we click on Send Money with Zelle and we hit Get Started. I'm going to go ahead and choose my email address to register with, and I'm going to hit Continue. I'm going to choose which account that I want to send and receive money with. I just have to choose a primary account. So I want that to be linked to my checking. That's where my paycheck and the majority of my funds usually are. I'm going to hit Continue. And then it's going to send a 6-digit verification code to the email that we've enrolled with. This is going to make sure that this account, this email address is ours, or with your phone number, make sure that your phone number is yours. I'm just waiting on that to come through. Give me one moment. Usually if you can't find it, check in your spam folder. It tends to go to spam or your junk mail, anything like that. That's where I usually find it if I can't find it in my inbox. Okay, while we're waiting on that, we're going to go ahead and go back. You can come back to this anytime. So we're just going to keep going back and give that time for that to show up for us. And I'll just go to mobile deposits. So over here on the side, remote deposits are going to be where you can take a picture of your check using your mobile phone or your iPad, and you can deposit that straight into your account. Now, keep in mind that I'm on a computer, so I don't have access to do that. It's a mobile only product, but what I can see is I can see any accounts that I'm currently enrolled in, as well as any checks that I have sent or taken a picture of and deposited into my accounts. So you can see a couple days ago, we did a $5 deposit into our regular share. And then earlier today, we did a $5 deposit into our checking. The next button I'm going to click on is TLC's Card Control. Again, this is a mobile only product. So I just wanted to show you the error that you're going to get if you try to navigate to it using your computer. So it shows you that we need to view this on a mobile device because we're using our browser. So to get out of this error, I'm going to go ahead and hit the back button. And then I'm going to go to the TLC Rewards website. So any Visa card, whether it be a debit card or a credit card with us, will earn reward points as long as you're using it as a credit. So when you're using your debit card, if you enter your PIN number, that's not going to earn you points. So make sure you always use it as a credit. Cashiers can usually tell you what buttons you need to push. Usually it's you hit cancel, and then it will let you sign your name. On your statement, it will tell you how many reward points you've earned. Don't go by that. It's not the most up-to-date information. Always go by what it says on the rewards website. So right now you can see that we have 19 points available. In order to redeem them, we need to choose what we want to redeem them for. We can redeem them for gift cards, as merchandise, for travel, for green products, or charitable donations. So I'm just going to take a look at the gift cards and see what they have available. So you can see that I can choose dining, entertainment, and so on. I want to look and see how much I can get from Buffalo Wild Wings. So if I click on that, it's going to show me I need 4,500 points to earn $25. I can choose to add that to my wish list. That way I always have that with me. That way I can kind of keep in mind as I'm earning points, oh yeah, that's how much Buffalo Wild Wings wanted for their gift card. If I hit add to wish list, it's going to take it to the bottom. And you can see I've got a few things down here. So this will just kind of help me keep track of what I'd like and see how many points I need. In order to get back to my website, I'm going to use the back button on my browser, and I may have to click it a couple of times depending on how far in I am to the other web page. There we go, and I'm back. And our code finally came in, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to Zelle. Actually, it may ask me for a new code. We'll see. There we go. It says that I'm registered and we're ready to start sending money. I'm just going to go ahead and hit on send or request money just to show you what it looks like on this side, but I'm going to let Rachel show you how to actually send funds. So on here, you can see our activity. You can see any payments that we've sent prior, any requests that we've sent. We're over here, it'll show you can send money or you can request money. This button right here, Manage Payment Profiles, is a really neat one. You can actually, so we've already enrolled with our email address. We can also enroll with our phone number. So you can enroll both ways by clicking that. So that way people have multiple ways to send funds to you. That way if they send it one way and you're registered another way, you can still receive it. So you can add multiple profiles. I'm going to hit the back button. And you can hit Manage Recipients. This is where you're actually going to add other people to be able to send funds with. All right. I think I'm down to my support button now. So when I hit support, it's going to show you that you can call us and give you our phone number here. This rings directly to our call center here in Adrian. It also gives you another option to start a conversation, and it will tell you whether or not we're open or closed, and tells you just a little bit about TLC. I'm going to go back to our dashboard because the next button I'm going to show you is kind of in two separate spots and you can get to it both ways. So you can see here your little icon is on the top right of this of the dashboard, but it's also in the bottom left. They do kind of the same thing with just a couple different features. Down here, you can sign out, access your settings, or add an account. If you click up here, you can view your profile. Find that support button again, hit settings or sign out. So I'm going to go to settings next. Settings are where you're going to be able to change anything when it comes to your profile or your account. You can view your user alerts and view our terms and conditions of the website. You can also see your TLC accounts here or any external accounts that you have at another institution. If you've already linked an external account, you will see another category down here that says external transfers. Here you're able to change your preferred first name. So how it says demo account here, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. By changing that, you're going to change what this says right here. And go back to settings. You can also change your address. When you submit an address change, it will send a message to us here at the eBranch. And it will say on your side, pending approval. What that means is that we have to take a look at it and we have to change it on our side of things before it's physically changed on your homepage. So you're not going to see that brand new address. As long as it says pending approval, that means a message has been sent to us and we just got to check it. So just give us a little bit of time for that. You can change your email right here, and you can also change your phone number that's registered. Anytime you change any of this, it's going to prompt a user alert. So you can see user alerts and how they're being sent. So here's that email address change, mobile phone change, and it's going to send you an email if any of that occurs. The button between these is the security button, and that's going to allow you to change your username and your password for our website or our app. It's also going to show you any apps that you currently have connected. Now this is probably going to be things like Quicken or QuickBooks, any type of application or another company that you've allowed access to your TLC account for the purpose of, updating transactions or downloading for budgeting purposes, anything like that, you'll be able to see that right here and manage them. Your two-factor authentication is that text message or phone call that you receive with that code to get into your account. Now, when you first registered, you might have clicked that box that says, "Don't ask me again." This is where you're going to go to reset that to make it start asking you again, or allow you to change the phone number or email address that you have listed. So if you had previously enrolled using your home phone and are only able to get phone calls for that code, you can hit that reset button here. And then next time you're going to put in your cell phone number, and it will allow you the flexibility to get a phone call or a text message. This is also helpful if you get a brand new phone number, or if a husband and wife want to trade who gets those codes, or anything like that. It's also going to show you any recently used devices. So it's going to show you that we can view this. I'm currently viewing this on Chrome. Rachel's using an iPad. We've gotten on using an iPhone. So this is just going to show you any way that we've accessed our accounts. Our next button is the user agreement. This is going to be our terms and conditions that you agreed to at the beginning of your enrollment. Anytime that it's updated, this will change as well. I think the next thing I'm going to show you here is a button that I can't actually show you on this account. I'm actually going to show you it on a separate slideshow here. It's our mortgage services. So anytime that you have a mortgage on your account, you're going to not see the history like you normally would. Give me 1 second. There we go. So this is the dashboard of an account that currently has a mortgage on it. So you can see the mortgage loan right here to the right. When you click into it, you're going to see things that you see on any other account. The only difference is you're not going to see the transactions listed here. In order to see any of that, you're going to have to click on this brand new button called Mortgage Services. So you see the transfer documents, you see everything else, but this button is only on mortgage loans. Once you click that, it's going to take you to a different website that's going to house everything related to the mortgage. Under payment information, it's going to show you the property address, the current interest rate, your remaining term, so how many months are left on the loan, your payment breakdown, what you pay in principal and interest, if you have escrow, how much you're paying on taxes and insurance. It's going to show you the next due date, and then it's going to show the date of maturity, so when your loan's going to be paid off. Under loan balances, it's going to break down what that balance means. So it's showing that we have $194,661 left on the principal. It'll show you if we have anything in our escrow account with taxes and insurance. It'll show you how much principal you've paid this year, how much interest you've paid this year, and just all kinds of breakdowns right here. Our next is going to be our payment history, and it's going to show you a list of the history. So this is essentially your transaction history that you see on any other account. You can click on this plus sign right here under details, and it will expand, and it will actually show you the breakdown of that payment. So how much of this $1,000 went to principal, how much went to interest, how much went to escrow. It'll break all of that down for you. Go ahead and back out here, and I'm back to my webpage. So I'm going to show you how to log out, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hand it over to Rachel so she can show you the mobile app side of things. So once you click down here, you're then going to click sign out, and it's going to take you right to the web page, and then you can safely close your browser and you know that you're all set. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce you to Rachel. She's going to go over everything having to do with our mobile app, and then we'll do a question and answer after. So go ahead and send those questions in if you haven't already. Rachel?
Right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully you are picking up some new tricks with the new online banking and the mobile banking soon to be here in just shortly. I am Rachel. I've been with the credit union for 2 years now. I would have to say being a part of just the TLC Community Credit Union staff, I'd have to say My favorite is to just have that connection with the members and being able to assist them, whether it be stopping any fraud from happening on their account, to helping them with their financial needs, such as approving them for loans and just getting their account to where they would like it to be. So if you give me one moment, I'm going to go ahead and get my screen shared for you. As you can see, this right here is the new online logging into your account with the new online banking. Before it was enter your user ID and the password. Now it has gone to a 4-digit PIN. I can assure you that the 4-digit PIN is 100% safe. You are only allowed 5 attempts to log in. After 5 unsuccessful attempts, it will lock you out of your account and it will walk you through the steps to getting you logged back in, and you'll have to do the 2-factor authentication again. So I can assure you that it is safe. I'm going to go ahead and enter our PIN for the app. All right, as you can see here, you notice that it looks very similar to the online banking side of it. There are multiple ways to get to things, like Leslie has stated in the online training. The 3 bars in the left-hand corner is going to be what we would call your menu bar. So it has all your menu options listed, as well as it did with the online banking portion. When in doubt, if you're playing around, you don't know where you are, if you always just go back to your menu selection and hit dashboard, it's going to bring you up to your dashboard, which is shown, you'll see attached. I'm just going to go down the menu options, so I'll break down one by one carefully. I'll briefly touch over things that Leslie has already shown you, and then spend a little bit more time on the mobile banking and the card control and Zelle, since those are new features to the credit union. All right, so as you can see that when Leslie was playing around with the dashboard, she was able to switch it. It transfers over to the mobile app if you've done it on the online banking side of things, and vice versa. So if you switched it on the mobile banking, it'll switch over to the online portion as well. If you wish to change them, just hit your 3 bars right here. You can go to Organize Accounts, View, and Account Dashboard. For instance, the view, as far as the compact and expanded displays, this is more of an effect if you are using more of a smartphone. That way you can, I guess, change basically how you want your accounts to be displayed, whether you want them compacted or if you want it expanded. If you did the expanded side of things, it would show you how it is right now, and compacted would be from top to bottom. Let me go back here to the menu. Right, next we're going to go to the messages. This is a new feature with the new online banking. So at any time, if you have quick questions, if it's just easier for you to chat in, just send us a message. We'll get back to you within 4 to 8 hours during business hours, if not sooner. So as you can see, the conversations that we've had started per Leslie when she was doing her presentation, you can always see what's currently started, and don't forget, you can also attach a photo, file, transactions, accounts, and payments by basically just hitting the plus button in the bottom left-hand corner when you start your message. And of course, to send, you'd hit the arrow to the right. If you ever want to delete a message, you can always click that specific message and hit the trash can button in the right-hand corner. Do keep in mind that you have to physically go in and delete a message if you wish to no longer see it listed. If not, your messages will just continue to occur. Next thing that we are going to do is go to the accounts. So as you can see, you see our regular share and our basic checking. You can also see the options that are available to them. Listed below is the details of that specific account. So it'll have your full account number and the routing number listed. When it comes to your basic checking, do keep in mind that, as Leslie stated, your balance is what you started the day with, and your available balance is what you have available at that current time, in case if you need to go grocery shopping, buy gas, etc. For more options too, you can always hit the plus button in the upper left-hand corner-ish. And you can do your consumer loan app if you need to apply for a car loan, credit card, anything like that. You can open up a new share, so that would direct you to open up a new savings or a CD if you wish to. You'll see those two options listed. Or you can do a transfer to another financial institution that you have an account at. And you can switch profiles, which I will go over briefly with you here shortly. We're going to go back to the back button. Next is going to be your transfer button. So this is where you're going to transfer between accounts or do external transfers. And it's just pretty simple. You can do from your regular share to your basic checking, or if you want to switch it, you can always hit the arrows pointing right there. How much that you want it to transfer. And the more options button gives you how often do you want to do it. Do you want to do it just once, weekly, monthly, etc. We're going to go ahead and cancel out of that. Your member transfer is also known as your member to member, which basically follow the instructions of what's required. Do keep in mind that if you have, say, a loan on another account, you have account with your husband per se, and that's where your auto loan is, but you want to pay money from your primary accounts that you're primary on, you will need to treat that transfer as a member to member transfer. Just remember to click the share and switch it to a loan. And all you'll have to do is enter the loan number. All right, next cool feature that we're going to be doing is doing the deposit the check. So this is where we're going to deposit the check mobilely. I'm going to go ahead and deposit a check. So we're going to do a check deposit for $5. You're going to enter the amount in, and you can select which share you wish to put it in. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and try to put it in the basic checking. I'm going to go ahead and try to capture this check and make sure you fit the check in the box. All right, so we're going ahead and continue that. Flip it over, and like I said, when you do the check, make sure you sign clearly and you write for mobile deposit only clearly. Go ahead and continue. We'll submit it.
I think it's because of this shit.
We're going to try this one more time, because if you don't have the perfect lighting or if you see any flaws in it, you'll just have to try capturing it again. All right. For some issue, we seem to be having technical difficulties, but it mainly be because we are on a demo account, so it may not accept it how it should. So that is the deposit the check portion of it. Like I said, when depositing, make sure you get a clear picture of the check. Lighting does play a big factor in it, making sure you write clearly. Make sure the print is bold enough to make sure that camera picks it up. If for some reason it gives you continuous errors, you can always deposit the check at a TLC branch or through a TLC ATM. Do keep in mind that we are unable to deposit any checks through the message feature. All right, the next we're going to go through, and I'll just briefly touch on it, is the payment options. This, like we explained, next Thursday at 6 o'clock, Mike and Janet will go through an in-depth webinar to explain bill pay and how to get your payee set up, how to do your payment, how you want to set up your payments for that payee. But this, you do have the option to access that through the mobile banking if you wish to. The next thing that we're going to be doing is the new feature with Zelle. So Leslie was able to get us up and going on the online banking portion of it. So what we're going to do is, just for fun, we're just going to send some money to someone just to brighten our day. You know what? Let's just send it to me because I'm doing a very good job of presenting the online banking. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and hit send money. We're going to go ahead and hit send. Like Leslie stated, do keep in mind that you need to know the individual who you are sending the money to. This is basically cash. So if you don't know that individual, I hate to say it, but unfortunately you might be out of that money. So we're going to go ahead and send money. We are going to add ourselves. So what we'll do is we have to enter, if you're sorry, I'm gonna skip around, but if you're adding a new recipient to Zelle, you will have to enter in your password. Give me just one moment while we get it loaded. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add myself. And since I am already a registered user with Zelle, I'm going to send it to me via my email. So we're going to add and continue. And if you already have this individual in your contacts, you are more than welcome to look it up through your contacts like that's on your phone. Just for fun, I'm going to send me $1. We're going to go ahead and review and make sure that you send the right amount. Make sure you don't send 1,000 or 100 or 10,000. So make sure you verify how much you are sending and where you want it to come from. So from here, we register with basic checking. So we're going to send it from basic checking. We're going to review that we're sending $1. If you ever want to put in what it's for, lunch, dinner, groceries, anything like that, you do have the accessibility to do so. So we're going to go ahead and send $1. Zelle does notify you to make sure that you are sending it to somebody who you're authorized sending it to. I'm going to go ahead and hit send. About process of payment. It will show you that the payment was sent. It does give you confirmation down here at the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and hit done. And once you have made that transaction, it does let us know that the payment was delivered on May 6th for $1. You can also request a payment if you wish to. So that is how Zelle works. So go ahead and hit the menu button here. This is TLC card control. So like Leslie stated, card control is only accessed through the mobile banking side of things. If you haven't done so already and you want to subscribe to card control, make sure you download the new card control app. So what we're going to do is go ahead and launch card control. And while it loads, you will see the card control app listed or shown on the screen. So card control are alerts that are linked to your debit or credit cards. So for instance, the debit card that we have linked with this account, we want to show what alerts we want or set up with it. So if you click on the card and go to controls and alerts, it will tell you our alert preferences. So anytime your card is swiped, whether it be for you're buying dinner or if you're doing a return at a store, you'll get notification for all transactions. So anything for any time that card is swiped, they will notify you. They will send you an alert on your phone. Let me go back the screen and go back one more time. Also for your accounts, whether you're checking or savings, you can also set an alert for any low balance. So if your checking account gets below $2, it will notify you to let you know. You can set that alert to be whatever amount that you wish to. We're going to go ahead and go back. So that is the card control portion of TLC Community Credit Union. So we're going to go back to the app itself. And as you can see, anytime that you do step away from your the mobile app, you will have to re-enter in your PIN. So we're going to go ahead and do that. My apologies, I'm still on the Zelle page, so I'm going to go back here to the dashboard. All right. The Your Money Manager, like Leslie stated, is a budgeting tool. So any transactions, whether you swiped your card at the gas station or you bought groceries, you can tag that specific transaction of what you want it to be categorized. So at the end of the month or the end of the week, my apologies, you can see how much money you're spending where, so that way you can kind of budget yourself or, tell yourself, whoa, I need to stop, grocery shopping, or I need to stop buying clothes at Maurice's, anything like that. That way you can kind of get yourself back into a budget routine. TLC Rewards is a cool feature that TLC offers to all members that have debit or credit cards. You earn points each time your card is ran as a credit. The TLC Rewards site is actual live points versus going off of your statement. If you have any questions at the moment, you can always swipe to the left, and it does bring up the rewards program phone number, so you can always call them for questions. But anytime that you want to redeem any points or anything, you need to switch the desktop version, which is basically a mirror of what Leslie had shown you. And then you'll be able to redeem anything such as gift card, merchandise, travel. You'll be able to see your wish bar at the bottom. So anything that you saved, gift cards, cooler, anything like that, you'll be able to see those listed down there so you can reach to those goals. Right here, we're going to go to the support button. So as you can see, there's many ways to get a hold of us, whether it be, the chat feature or giving us a call. You can also stop in at any of our 7 locations. We have also multiple ATMs that you can have access to. And also utilize the co-op ATMs where there's a no fee if you need to grab quick cash, or if you happen to be traveling and you need to stop into a branch. You can also look up any of our shared branches of TLC. Down here at the bottom, go back here to our dashboard. But down here at the bottom, you're going to see a down arrow button. If you click on that, you're going to see 4 different options for you. The edit profile, like I explained earlier, this is where you can add an account. So say if you have an account with your husband's primary on it and you're joint, and you have your account with you primary and your husband's listed joint. You can add his account on your phone, and you can toggle back and forth between accounts so you can see, which one may have the money where you need to pull funds out of, etc. If your kids have, the youth accounts here with us, you can toggle back and forth and add their accounts on there, and see where their account standing is. Kind of a cool feature, especially if you have multiple accounts. Of course, you have your sign out button, so that will sign you out of the app. And then you also have your settings. Your settings allow you to update your name, change your address, any of your contact information. You can also do the security features where you can also change your username, password, passcode. You can always enable or disable the Touch ID if you wish to. You can also reset your 2-factor. When you first enrolled, you might have started with your house phone, but you want to reset it to get any notifications to your cell phone. That is where you will reset it. User alerts are how they alert you if anything has been changed to your account. Your TLC Community Credit Union tab right here will list all of your shares, and it makes sure that they're both displayed in the app, making sure that you're enrolled into eStatements. And if you want any alert preferences, you can always set them up here if you wish to. You also have external transfers. This is where lists the financial institutions that you transfer to and from if you wish. Send feedback, so send all positive feedback to the e-branch, and we'll be able to get back to you within 4 to 8 business hours. All user agreements of the credit union. So we also have our privacy policy here for the credit union, along with the terms and conditions of the mobile online banking. and it does update. So when we do update, be sure to check here for any updates. Version info, just let you know what version you're on. Do keep in mind that obviously, as you know, if you do have an Apple product, they do updates quite often. So you'll want to make sure that your settings are updated. And then there also is a remove profile. So if you want to, remove one of your kids' accounts off of your mobile banking, or for some reason you had to close out this account due to fraud, you open up a new one, you can always remove this profile from that. So what we'll do is go ahead and we're going to go ahead and hit log out so I can show you what that does when you do sign out. It just brings you back to the page where you do need to enter in your 4-digit PIN to access the account. That concludes my presentation on the mobile banking. We will answer any questions that may come across.
All right, it looks like we have a few questions in here. So our first one is, how long are messages visible in online banking? So messages are going to be visible as long as you keep them there. So I think Rachel and I both kind of showed you the different ways that you can delete those. So the messages and the alerts, the in-app alerts, are all going to kind of pile up on the left-hand side of the messages, and you can just delete them as you're done with them.
Next question, when do my statements show up? So if you're looking online, the statements, if you receive them electronically, typically will show up, I would say within 5 to 6 days after the new month starts. If you receive them in the mail, I would give it a good 7 to 10 business days before you should receive it in the mail.
Our next question is, can I use external transfers to pay my landlord? That's a little tricky. So external transfers are meant for other accounts that you're on in another institution. For instance, if I'm on a Huntington account, I can link my Huntington. As long as I own it, I can link my Huntington to my TLC. One option you may have is send money with Zelle. So you can always have your landlord see if they're enrolled in Zelle, or if they're a member at the credit union, you can always use that member transfer button.
Can I transfer my loan on another account? Unfortunately, you cannot transfer a loan from one account to the other. It has to stay on that account where it was originally initiated. However, you can pay a loan from one account to that loan. You will just need to do that as a member transfer and make sure that you switch the share to where it says loan.
Our next question is, will we be able to listen to this webinar later? Yes, so we've recorded it. We will be posting it on our website, so be sure to look out for a link.
Is there a charge for My Money Manager? Absolutely not. There is no charge for that. It's completely free. It's just a cool tool that TLC has offered all of our members. And actually, if you haven't done so already, I would highly recommend playing around with it. It is kind of cool, and you kind of realize how much money you spend where, and you don't realize that you do it. So
it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
The next question, does my husband's PIN and my PIN need to be the same? No. So the PIN is going to be tied to your device. So if you're logging onto your account on your phone and he's logging on his phone, they can be different PIN numbers. Just keep in mind that only one person can get that 2-factor authentication code text to them. So you will need to share that back and forth until you hit that don't ask me again button.
Next question, are card control alerts the same as my account alerts? Yes and no. They are completely different on how they notify you. So anytime you swipe your card or anything, you can get alerts to let you know where it was swiped. As far as account alerts, it does come to your device if you wish, for it to be set as text message or anything like that. It's generated different because you set those. So.
And then it looks like our last question here, can I toggle between my accounts on a computer? No, unfortunately you can't the way you can on the mobile device. What you'll have to do is you'll have to sign out and then sign in. We are working on a feature and we're kind of launching that slowly, and we're contacting everybody as we go, that if ownership is the same on 2 separate shares, so like Rachel was saying earlier, if you have 2 separate accounts where wife is primary on one with husband and husband's primary on the other with wife, we can tie those together to be sure shown on one online banking profile. If that's something you're interested in, interested to see if your accounts qualify, we can even play around with that. So we can update accounts as long as you're okay with it, with some signatures to make sure that account ownerships match, and we can tie those together. So definitely either call in, stop at a branch, or send us a message on the website and we can get everything taken care of for you. Looks like that's all of our questions. If you think of anything after this webinar is over, don't hesitate to reach out to us, send us a message, and we'll get back to you. Again, this is going to be recorded and posted on our website. And then join us next week as Mike and Janet go over everything having to do with bill pay. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.